Good morning, everyone. Today I wanted to talk about my end of the year reading goals / TBR, basically where I want to land by the end of the year. I will say I'm pretty happy with my reading this year. My goal was for 100 books. I have surpassed that at this point, so anything else I get now is just kind of cherry on top of the cake, as I am quite a goals-oriented person. I'm gonna try and put out, because I really didn't do much content for November, as November and December is kind of where my work kicks off and I'm just way too busy working way too long of days. The nature of Christmas in retail. But I'm lucky enough that I do work with books, so I've been able to pick out and kind of whittle down what I want to read, just the nature of working in the bookshop. So without further ado, I'm going to say what I'm in the middle of reading, and then the last leg of my year, what I would like to finish. But I'm trying to be a realist this year, that my reading slows down an exorbitant amount November, December. So let's get into it. Also, I did get a haircut finally and a lightning treatment, because I did look like a dog for like a good 2 weeks there. But I'm also really happy with my hair length. So in July I had completely, last December actually, if you'll remember, it was cut like to here and then grew out a little bit, and then I did want long hair again, but of course I got the one inkling. I was like, I like myself with short hair, and then cut it all off again. So here's hoping. I'm gonna try and grow it back out and keep the bangs, but we'll see. So first I'm gonna go through what I'm currently in the middle of reading. The first being, you're gonna notice I'm trying to finish off some series before the end of the year, because the last video I just put out was series I'm in the middle of, and it was a lot. So trying to wrap a couple up. So the book I'm currently in the middle of is Assassin's Quest. This is book 3 in the Farseer trilogy, featuring Fitz. This is the first trilogy in the Robin Hobb universe, Farseer universe. And for Christmas, I've asked for the 3 books of the Mad Ship trilogy. So I would like to finish this off before Christmas, but these are chunky books, and I did just finish book 2 last month that I will be reviewing in my end of the year wrap up. So I'm really happy with this. I really enjoy it. Book 2 ended on a crazy note, so I jumped right into book 3 actually. As soon as I put book 2 down, the next morning I woke up, couldn't stop thinking about it, and picked up book 3. So currently reading this one. I'm also currently in the middle of Cultish. This is a nonfiction about the linguistics used within cults and cult phenomenon within our society. I'm really enjoying it. I have like a little key going and taking some notes and some thoughts as I'm reading it. So nonfiction, great way to end off the year with cults, I guess. So the rest of what I'm going to be getting into, some of them I've started a little bit, but not enough to really warrant I'm in the middle of reading. So the first one is Dostoevsky's The Brothers Karamazov. I don't know that I pronounced that right, but I'm really enjoying this since I'm only 30 pages in. I think I'm on the 5th chapter. And there was a couple of laugh out loud moments. Dostoevsky, great writer. I've read The Gambler, and what else do I have on my shelf? Oh yeah, obviously Crime and Punishment. But I think The Gambler was by Dostoevsky as well. Really enjoyed that. Read that for a book club a couple years back with some university friends. So I'm excited to jump into this one. I feel like this is one I'm going to pick out through the month and probably not finish until mid-January. It just has that kind of snowy, wintry feeling. So yeah, I should have to lean back for this one because I'm reading the ebook, but Empire of the Vampire by J. Kristoff. I would like to finish this. My sister-in-law is also reading this right now, and has far surpassed me. I'm just on page 75, and I think she's on like page 300 and some. So she has far and away passed me in this, but I am enjoying it thus far, and everyone tells me how much it picks up, and you won't be able to put it down at a certain point, so I'm just waiting for that point right now. But I also got the ebook from the library, so I have a tendency to put off reading something until I get the notification that says your book is due back soon, and at that point I have like a 24-hour sprint of finishing the book that I'm reading. So next we have Mansfield Park by Jane Austen. I was doing a Jane Austen kind of full month by month read along, so going through all of Jane Austen's work and each month reading a different Jane Austen, and I kind of slumped in November for Mansfield Park, so I do need to catch up. I want to read all of Jane Austen's collected works. I have read them all before, but some of them I haven't read for probably a good 10 years, so I need to get back into it. Mansfield Park is like her chonkiest one, I think, maybe Emma, but I think it's Mansfield Park. I do like it, so I would like to read this at some point. Next we have Pages & Co. This is just like a little middle grade I picked up, and I've been reading. Oh, I didn't think I was that far along, but I'm 130 pages in. It's really cute. It's one of those books, like I've only sat down and read this twice, like little bits, so I'm surprised I'm that far, but it is middle grade. It's one of those books you just sit down and you read like 50 pages in one go. It's really cute. It's about Tilly, who starts seeing her favorite. She lives with her grandparents who work and own a bookshop, and then she starts seeing her favorite book characters start appearing, which is cute. Next I picked up Midnight in Everwood. This is one I actually recently purchased, but it's like a fantastical fantasy slash ballet slash winter fiction. I just think it'll be gorgeous to read in the upcoming like month where we'll definitely get snow. We've been lucky so far. I live in Canada, so we've been lucky thus far and having not gotten snow, and it hasn't been too cold, but the last few days there's definitely been frost, and anytime it's rain it's turning into frost on the ground, so that means snow will soon follow, and when it does I'm excited to pick up Midnight in Everwood. Next we have Empire of Gold by Chakraborty. This of course is the final book in the Jinn trilogy, or is it the Devabad trilogy? I'm not sure, but I finished Kingdom of Copper this year. Actually, I think I started and would like to finish this series all of this year. I really enjoyed how book 2 ended. Again, it did not suffer from a book 2 slump, which I really appreciate. So I would just really like to wrap up this trilogy before the end of the year, so I have like that many less series that I have on my currently reading list, but it's a big boy. And I'm realizing a lot of what I'm holding up is like thick classics or really big boys. So it didn't look like it when I was picking them out. And last but certainly not least, because it's been on my radar for a while, is the Helm of Midnight. This is like a fantasy horror mystery novel about like, I think it's a mask of death that disappeared and has now reappeared, and they have to figure out, let's just see. A legendary serial killer stalks the streets of a city shrouded in darkness and secrets in a stunning first novel of the new trilogy. So murder, fantasy, I'm into it. I've had my eye on this for a while. It's been on my radar, and everyone I know who's read it has just like spoken the world about it, so I want to read it. And I think it would be a good way to finish off the year because it looks like a lot of dialogue. It's not too long. It's 450 pages, so I think like if I have a weekend where inevitably towards Christmas, I'm going to turn into a hermit and not want to see anyone because I'll just be too tired. Or if I have friends that I'll be socializing with, they'll just come over and like we do like reading together, which is mostly like gossiping, and then we have our books on our laps. But this would be a great book for that. So that's it for my like actual TBR list. And now let me be a little unrealistic in saying, if I have the time, I have 2 books that I would like to get to. One of them is currently on the way, and it's the Joan Didion collection. So they released a collected works from the first leg of her work. So I think it was the 70s, 80s. And I ordered that one. I would love to get to that. Because I just feel like Joan Didion's someone I'm just going to love. And I haven't really read much by her. And also, if I have the time, I would love to get to the Bone Shard Emperor. So I had carved this out specifically for the release date. I did pre-order it, but the release date came and went. My pre-order was very late getting in. So by the time it got in, I was already in the middle. I had just finished book 2 in the Farseer trilogy. So I was waiting for this to come in, expecting it at a certain time, and when it didn't, I just picked up book 3 and kind of created my end of the year TBR by the time this one finally came in. As in, like, this was just sitting at my work and I could have bought it, but I had restraint and said, Daniela, you already pre-ordered it. You do not need to buy a copy just so you can read it right away. But in that restraint, it also means it got pushed back on my TBR. So I hope I can get to this year, but if I don't, I want to be realistic and saying I will just get to it first thing at the top of 2022 in the month of January, because I am very excited. I really liked Bone Shard Daughter. I thought about rereading it, but upon like some introspection, I actually remember it quite well. And it's just a slippery slope if I'm going to keep rereading all the books in a series when a new one comes out, because I just did it for the Stormlight Archive so I could read Rhythm of War, and that took up the majority of my reading year. So I'm just gonna hop into this. If I have the time, I'll do it for December. If I don't, then this will be at the top of my list for January, kicking off my 2022 TBR. So that is all I have today. I go to work at 1:30. We have our extended hours now, so we're open until 9 o'clock at night. And if you know me, I am not a night person. I am 110% a morning person. So I'm going to maybe take this opportunity and film a couple more videos and maybe disperse them out through this end of the month. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'm interested to see what everyone else's kind of end of the year final push for reading looks like, or if a lot of people are like me and you kind of push hard throughout the year and then just call it a day by December. Like you just hit that slump in December. Not a slump, because I still read and I still enjoy reading, but you just hit that, it's holidays time. I have family to call and Skype. I have things to do, presents to buy, and reading definitely takes a back seat in my prioritizing. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video.